Okay, bonsoir. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start our meeting, but beforehand, I'd like to say a few words. I'd like to thank, j'aimerais remercier notre directeur des loisirs, our recreation department, his staff, as well as the volunteers and our city councilors that participated in the Kirkland Annual Breakfast with Santa. I'd like to thank especially Santa himself, our Steve Bouchard.
He's another one.
And also, I'd like to thank all of our Kirkland residents for their generosity for the food drive. This year, we received it's yesterday, I received an email from Suzanne Scarrow. She's the executive director of the West Island Mission. And she told me that in her case, we had 3 food banks that we were basically collecting non-perishable. In their case, they received close to 3,307 pounds of non-perishable. And if you look at the 2 other organizations, Salvation Army and including UNRWA, community, it's a total of close to 9,921 pounds. Imagine, we collected from our resident 4.5 tons of non-perishable. Good job for everyone. So we'll start with the adoption of the l'ordre du jour, adoption of the agenda. I need a proposer.
Je vais, si ça te dérange pas,
Oh, I'm
faire la
sorry,
lecture.
Annie, go ahead.
Il est proposé d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la présente séance ordinaire du 5 décembre 2022 en modifiant les titres des points 7.4 et 7.5 en remplaçant les mots réserve financière par excédent affecté and in English, the words financial reserve for restricted surplus.
Thank you. Now, a proposal for the adoption and second.
What was that on the floor?
And second.
I'll second it, Dominic Zito.
Thank you.
Item 3.1, it is proposed that the minutes of the regular sitting held on November 7, 2022 at 8 p.m. be approved.
Moved by.
I'll put that, St. Charlie.
And second.
Second that, Carrick.
3.2, it is proposed that the minutes of the special sitting held on November 30th, 2022 at 8 a.m. be approved.
Moved by.
I'll propose that, Nancy Kokonasidis.
And second.
And I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 4, compte payable. Il est proposé de confirmer d'approuver le paiement d'un montant total de 3 755 763,68 $, pour l'ensemble des chèques émis et annulés, les dépôts directs et les paiements préautorisés pour la période du 1er au 30 novembre 2022.
Le proposeur.
Propose John Morrison.
And il appuie par.
I'll second that, all before.
Merci.
Under item 5, the bylaws, the first one is bylaw number Gen-2022-56. It is proposed that a council member give notice of motion that draft bylaw number Gen-2022-56 entitled Bylaw Concerning the Internal Governance of the Municipal Council of the Town of Kirkland be presented for adoption at a subsequent sitting of the Municipal Council. It is also proposed that a draft of this bylaw, which is made available to the public on the town's website, be tabled by this council member. The object of this bylaw is to set up the rules for the governance of the Municipal Council, and this bylaw is scheduled to be adopted at the January 16, 2023 regular sitting of council.
Okay, and need somebody to table it and for the notion of motion.
Yeah, I will table it, Michelle.
Thank you. And now I'd like to let, we've got 3 councilors that would like to say something in regards to this tabling on bylaw Gen GEN 2022-56, and I'll start with Madam Chair.
I would just like to officially oppose 5.7, Article 5.7, based on the fact that I would like to include video recording. Thank you.
Mr. Bouchard?
I also, for the record, I would like it known that I oppose Article 5.7 of this article, which does not include the video portion of the council meeting.
Nancy?
I too object to Article 5.7 in the bylaw. It not only does not allow any video, it does allow the audio, but I feel that broadcasting both audio and video is an interesting option for the people who don't have the time to attend a meeting in person or can't make the trip to the city hall for mobility reasons or because of other commitments. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to 5.2.
So maintenant, au point 5.2, il est proposé de donner avis de motion à l'effet que le projet de règlement numéro GEN 2023-50, intitulé Règlement imposant la taxe foncière générale pour 2023 et comportant d'autres mesures fiscales, sera présenté pour adoption à une séance subséquente du Conseil. Il est de plus proposé qu'un projet de ce règlement, lequel est mis à la disposition du public sur le site web de la Ville, soit déposé par un membre du Conseil. L'objet de ce règlement est de fixer des taxes foncières pour l'année 2023. Et l'adoption de ce règlement est prévue à l'Assemblée spéciale du Conseil municipal qui aura lieu le 19 décembre 2022.
Somebody for the tabling and also the proposal.
I'll present.
Thank you.
Item 5.3. It is proposed to give notice of motion that bylaw number 9058-105, entitled Bylaw Amending Zoning Bylaw number 9058, in order to modify certain particular provisions applicable to industrial zones and certain particular provisions applicable to zone 301M, 303M, 305M, 306M, and 325M will be submitted for adoption at a subsequent sitting of council and to table this draft bylaw. I would also like to propose to adopt this draft bylaw as tabled before council, a copy of which is available to the public on the town's website. And this draft bylaw contains provisions making it a bylaw subject to approval by way of referendum, and it will be subject to a public consultation for those interested on December 21st, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. A public notice announcing this public consultation will be published on December 9, 2022 on the town's website. And the second draft of this bylaw is scheduled to be adopted at the January 16, 2023 regular sitting of council. We first need the notice of motion and tabling.
Okay, notice of motion and tabling first.
I'll give the notice of motion, Domenico Zito, as well as table the draft bylaw.
And now I need a mover and a seconder for the
I'll move the adoption of the draft,
Okay.
Dominic Zito.
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Thank you.
So maintenant au point 5.4, qui est l'adoption du second projet du règlement de zonage numéro 90-58-104. Considérant que le règlement de zonage 90-58-104 n'a fait l'objet d'aucune représentation de la part des personnes intéressées à l'Assemblée publique de consultation qui a été tenue le 21 novembre 2022 et qu'aucune modification n'a été apportée au règlement depuis le dépôt et l'adoption du premier projet, considérant que l'objet de ce règlement est d'interdire les établissements de type Airbnb dans les zones résidentielles et mixtes et que des copies du deuxième projet de règlement de zonage 90-58-104 ont été mises à la disposition du public sur le site Internet de la Ville, il est proposé d'adopter sans changement le deuxième projet de règlement de zonage numéro 90-58-104, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement de zonage numéro 90-58, afin d'interdire l'usage d'établissements de résidence principale dans les zones résidentielles et mixtes, et de fixer la date du registre au mardi 20 décembre 2022 de 9h à 19h.
Proposeur,
Propose that on the floor.
Et puis, Barbara?
I'll second that, Madam Clerk.
Item 5.5, bylaw number Gen-2023-51 entitled Bylaw Establishing Tariffs for Certain Municipal Services is presented for adoption. Considering that a notice of motion was given and a draft of this bylaw was tabled on November 7, 2022, it is proposed to adopt this bylaw as tabled. This bylaw will come into force on December 9, 2022. Date of publication of public notice to that effect on the town's website and billboards, and a copy of this bylaw is made available to the public on the town's website.
I need somebody to move it.
I will propose that, Mike Brown.
And second.
I'll second Nancy Kukmasitis.
Nous sommes maintenant rendus à la section des contrats. Le premier est le 6.1. Il s'agit de l'octroi du contrat TP 2023-02, travaux arboricoles, élagage, abattage et haubanage d'arbres avec 4 options de renouvellement. Suivant cet appel d'offres public, 2 soumissions ont été reçues à l'intérieur du délai imparti. Les soumissions ont été ouvertes publiquement le 31 octobre 2022 et à la suite d'un examen des documents reçus, les soumissions ont été jugées conformes aux documents d'appel d'offres. Il est par conséquent recommandé d'octroyer le contrat TP 2023-02 à Arborescence, qui est également connu sous le nom de 91-95-7001 Québec Inc., qui est le plus bas soumissionnaire conforme pour un montant de 307 133,87 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses.
Propose. Propose John Morrison. And second.
Je l'appuie de Mouzito.
Merci.
Item 6.2 is the awarding of contract TP 2023-42, urgent tree work with 2 renewal options. Following this call for tenders by invitation, 1 bid was received within the allotted time frame. The bid was opened publicly on October 31st, 2022, and following a review of the documents received, the bid was deemed compliant with the tender specifications. It is now proposed that contract TP 2023-42 be awarded to Arbo Design Inc., lowest confirming bidder, for an amount of $44,840.25, all applicable taxes included.
Moved by.
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second.
I'll second that on the floor.
Nous sommes au point 6.3. Il s'agit de l'octroi du contrat TP 2023-01, entretien ménager des édifices municipaux pour 2023. Il est proposé de conclure une entente contractuelle par laquelle Placement Potentiel Inc. s'engage à fournir ses services de nettoyage d'édifices municipaux au coût annuel de 170 249,92 $, taxes non applicables, pour la période du 1er janvier au 31 décembre 2023.
Proposé par.
Je propose Gary Cliff.
Et secondé par.
Vous allez seconder Luciano Pierre.
Merci.
Item 6.4 is the renewal of contract TP 2020-19, inspection, maintenance, and repair services for various fire protection components with 3 renewal options. This contract was initially awarded on December 2nd, 2019 to Protection Incendie MCI, Marco Cournoyer Inspection Inc., with 3 renewal options. It is proposed to renew for a 3rd and final renewal option covering the period of January 1st to December 31st, 2023. This contract with Protection Incendie MCI, Marco Cournoyer Inspection Inc., for a total amount of $17,179.89, including all applicable taxes. This amount includes a price increase corresponding to the Consumer Price Index.
Proposed by.
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
And second.
I will second it on the floor.
Le point 6.5 s'agit du renouvellement du contrat TP 2021-08, entretien préventif et correctif des systèmes CVC des bâtiments municipaux avec 4 options de renouvellement. Ce contrat a été initialement octroyé le 7 juin 2021 à Vimoval Inc. avec 4 options de renouvellement. Il est proposé de reconduire pour une deuxième option de renouvellement couvrant la période du 1er janvier au 31 décembre 2023, le contrat TP 2021-08 avec Vimoval Inc. pour un montant total de 107 469 et 43 sous, toutes taxes applicables incluses. Ce montant inclut une hausse des prix correspondant à l'ITC.
Le proposeur
Je le propose, Nancy Koganesides.
est secondé appuyé par
I second that, John Morrison. Yes.
Item 6.6 is the renewal of contract TP 2021-17-1, tree felling work with 2 renewal options. This contract was initially awarded on March 1st, 2021 to Apple Design Inc. with 2 renewal options. It is proposed to renew for a second and final renewal option covering the period of January 1st to December 31st, 2023. This contract with Apple Design Inc. for a total amount of $123,776.98, including all applicable taxes. This amount includes a price increase corresponding to the Consumer Price Index.
a proposer.
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second,
I'll second that, Karen Cliff.
Au point 6.7, il s'agit du renouvellement du contrat TP 2021-35, collecte des transports des CRD et encombrants valorisables avec 2 options de renouvellement. Ce contrat a initialement été octroyé le 11 janvier 2021 à Service Ricova Inc. avec 2 options de renouvellement. Il est proposé de reconduire pour une 3e année de base, couvrant la période du 1er janvier au 31 décembre 2023, le contrat TP 2021-35 avec Service Ricova Inc. pour un montant total de 105 547 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses. Ce montant inclut une hausse des prix correspondant à l'ITC.
un proposeur
Je le propose, Dominique Zito.
est secondé par
Je vais seconder Luciano Pucciacchia.
Item 6.8 is the renewal of contract TP 2022-15, pumping station cleaning and on-demand work with 4 renewal options. This contract was initially awarded on November 15, 2021 to Sanivac, 9363-9888 Quebec Inc. with 4 renewal options. It is proposed to renew for a first renewal option covering the period of January 1st to December 31st, 2023. This contract with Sanivac for a total amount of $55,190.52, including all applicable taxes. This amount includes a price increase corresponding to the Consumer Price Index.
need a proposer.
Conseil Godefort.
Second,
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Le point 6.9, il s'agit du renouvellement du contrat TP 2022-20, réparation mécanisée de nid de poule avec 2 options de renouvellement. Ce contrat a initialement été octroyé le 6 décembre 2021 à Environnement Routier Énergie Inc. avec 2 options de renouvellement. Il est proposé de reconduire pour une première option de renouvellement couvrant la période du 1er janvier au 31 décembre 2023, le contrat TP 2022-20 avec Environnement Routier Énergie Inc. pour un montant total de 25 762,45 $, toutes taxes applicables incluses. Ce montant inclut une hausse des prix correspondant au TC.
un proposeur
Jim, I propose John Morrison.
et secondé.
Je le seconde, Nancy Koganesides.
Item 6.10, it is proposed to authorize an additional expenditure of $150,628.28, all applicable taxes included, payable to Roxborough Excavation Inc. for the fuel adjustment for the year 2021-2022 under contract TP 2021-11 snow removal work season 2021 to 2024 base plus 2 renewal options.
Un proposeur
Je le propose, Karen Cliff.
Secondé.
Je vais le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
Merci.
Nous sommes maintenant à la section administration et finances. Le premier point est le refinancement d'un montant de 3 488 000 relatif à un emprunt échéant le 19 décembre 2022 pour les règlements d'emprunt numéro 2017-02 et 2017-01. Considérant que, conformément au règlement d'emprunt suivant et pour les montants indiqués en regard de chacun d'eux, la Ville de Kirkland souhaite émettre une série d'obligations, soit une obligation par échéance pour un montant total de 3 488 000 répartis comme suit, c'est-à-dire le règlement d'emprunt 2007-02 pour un montant de 1 085 800 $ et le règlement 2017-01 pour un montant de 2 402 200 $. Considérant que les offres faisant suite à l'appel d'offres public du ministère des Finances ont été ouvertes cet après-midi à 15 h, il est proposé d'adopter une résolution de concordance et de courte échéance relativement à un emprunt par obligation au montant de 3 488 000 qui sera réalisé le 15 décembre 2022. Il est de plus proposé, après étude des 5 soumissions reçues, d'accepter la soumission la plus avantageuse présentée par la firme Casgrain et compagnie limitée et d'adjuger l'émission d'obligations au montant de 3 488 000 de la Ville de Kirkland à cette firme. Selon les modalités de son offre, il se détaille comme suit. Le prix offert est 99,00920. Le coût réel est de 4,51155 pour les 5 années de 2023 à 2027. Il est également proposé d'autoriser le maire et la trésorière à signer les obligations visées par la présente émission et tout autre document requis pour donner suite à cet emprunt par obligation.
Un proposeur.
Je vais le proposer, Luciano Picciacchia.
Secondé par.
Je l'appuie de Mexico.
Merci.
Item 7.2, it is proposed to authorize Nadine Basila, Assistant Director General and Treasurer, to invest monies in accordance with Section 99 of the Cities and Towns Act at the agreed terms, to give instructions to financial institutions to this effect, and to authorize her or the Director General, Mr. Joseph Nalitro, to sign any document required for this purpose.
Okay. Need a proposal.
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
And second.
I'll second that. Nancy Koukinis.
Thank you.
Le point 7.3, il est proposé d'autoriser Nadine Basila, directrice générale adjointe et trésorière, à signer pour et au nom de la Ville de Kirkland toute entente bancaire avec la Banque royale du Canada.
Un proposeur.
Je le propose, Karen Cliff.
Et appuyé par.
Je vais le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
Parfait.
Item 7.4, it is proposed to authorize Nadine Basila, Assistant Director General and Treasurer, to create a restricted surplus earmarked for municipal infrastructure to allocate the following sums to this to this restricted surplus: 58 million from the sale of the Northwest land and 3 million from the free surplus, and to allocate the interest generated from the investment to these sums to this restricted surplus.
Need somebody to propose it?
I'll propose that all before.
And second.
I'll second that, John Morrison.
Le point 7.5, il est proposé d'autoriser Nadine Basila, directrice générale adjointe et trésorière, à créer un excédent affecté pour le rachat d'une portion du terrain nord-ouest vendu le 1er septembre 2022 et à affecter une somme de 9 030 000 provenant de la vente de ce terrain à cet excédent affecté.
Un proposeur.
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
Et appuyé par.
Je vais l'appuyer, Luciano Picciacchia.
Merci.
Item 7.6, it is proposed to approve the Town of Kirkland's 2023-2033 cultural policy and the 2023-2026 action plan And to send a copy of this resolution to the ministère de la Culture et des Communications.
I need a proposer.
I propose that Nancy Cook-Nessimis.
Thank you, and second by?
And I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Le point 7.7, il est proposé que le calendrier des séances ordinaires du Conseil municipal pour l'année 2023 soit adopté et que les séances ordinaires se tiennent dans la salle du Conseil à l'Hôtel de Ville, au 17 200 boulevard Reynes, à 20h. Les dates des séances ordinaires sont les suivantes: 16 janvier, 6 février, 6 mars, 3 avril, 1er mai, 5 juin, 4 juillet, 7 août, 5 septembre, 2 octobre, 6 novembre et 4 décembre. Un avis public sera publié à cet effet.
Un proposeur?
Je le propose, Pierre Treff.
Et appuyé par?
Je l'appuie, Dominique Zito.
Item 7.8, it is proposed to cancel Resolution CM 22-307 adopted at the council meeting on November 7th, which was adopted by mistake.
Okay, a mover,
I propose that, John Morrison.
and second?
I will second that, Paul Dufour.
Le point 7.9, conformément à la loi sur les élections et les référendums dans les municipalités, dans les 60 jours de l'anniversaire de la proclamation de leur élection, les membres du Conseil déposent devant celui-ci une déclaration mise à jour mentionnant l'existence des intérêts pécuniaires qu'ils ont dans le territoire de la municipalité ou de la communauté métropolitaine, et le Conseil prend donc acte du dépôt de ces déclarations. Il n'y a aucune contribution financière additionnelle aux organismes communautaires locaux à approuver au point 7.10. There are no items related to human resources to be tabled at the present sitting, ce qui nous amène au point 9, comité consultatif d'urbanisme. Le point 9.1, il est proposé d'accorder en vertu du règlement numéro 90-63 intitulé Règlement relatif aux dérogations mineures de la ville de Kirkland, la dérogation mineure suivante au règlement de zonage numéro 90-58. L'adresse est le 24A, rue de Lacey Green, sur le lot 5434956 dans la zone 119R, afin de permettre le positionnement des escaliers de la façade principale à 5,35 mètres de la marge avant, au lieu de 5,4 mètres, tel que stipulé à l'article 10.14.
Un proposeur?
Je vais le proposer, Duchamp, Champion.
Et appuyé par?
Je vais le seconder, Steve Bouchard.
Item 9.2, it is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the modification project regarding the exterior of the building located on lot 6044936 in zone 234C, located at 16908 Trans-Canada Highway, and the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on November 8, 2022, and to approve as submitted the site planning and architectural integration plan listed in item 3.2.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on November 8, said plans being in conformity with bylaw SPAIP-2022-55 and having received a favorable recommendation from the PAC.
Okay, that's the Centre d'achat Provido. It's where you'll have, Joe Fresh was there before, now you'll have winners that will be part of that complex. So I need a mover,
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
and second by?
I'll second it, Duchamp, Champion.
Thank you.
Au point 9.3, il est proposé de prendre acte de la demande d'approbation des plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale et des documents d'accompagnement relativement au projet de modification de l'apparence extérieure du bâtiment situé sur le lot 1-993-410 dans la zone 309M située au 16 659, 16 667 boulevard Hymas et de l'extrait du procès-verbal du CCU du 8 novembre 2022, d'approuver les plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale énumérés au point 3.3.1 du procès-verbal de la réunion du CCU tenue le 8 novembre. Les dix plans étant conformes au règlement numéro PIA 2022-55 et ayant fait l'objet d'une recommandation favorable du CCU, avec la condition mentionnée au point 3.3.2.4 du procès-verbal du 8 novembre 2022.
That's the building Valco Pharma located on Hymas Boulevard. So, somebody to propose?
I'll propose it to the chairman, second.
And second?
I'll second that, Steve Bouchard.
Item 9.4, it is proposed to take note of the request for approval of the site planning and architectural integration program and accompanying documents for the construction project of a multi-family housing building on vacant lots 6, 4, 8, 0, 539 and 6, 4, 8, 0, 540 in zone UM 102 and the extract of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on November 22nd, 2022, and to approve as submitted the site planning and architectural integration plan listed in item 2.1.1 of the minutes of the PAC meeting held on November 22nd, said plans being in conformity with bylaw SPAIP 2022-55 and having received a favorable recommendation from the PAC.
Okay. I need to propose.
I'll propose that, Steve Bouchard.
And second?
I'll second it to the chairman, second.
Thank you.
We are now under section 10, public security and traffic. The item is 10.1. It is proposed to authorize the installation of a speed bump at the mandatory stop sign located on Burn Street at the intersection south of Shediac Street at the location specified on the plan.
Propose?
Was that all before?
And second?
Second that, John Morrison.
Il n'y a aucune affaire touchant l'environnement qui est traitée séance tenante. Ce qui nous amène au rapport du maire, donc the mayor's report on decisions taken by the Montreal Urban Agglomeration Council at the regular sitting held on November 24, 2022, and at the special sitting held on November 29, 2022.
I was not present because I was on vacation, but our pro-mayor, Paul Moore, was there to replace me, and I'd like Paul to say a few words.
I went to the regular council meeting, the inauguration, on the 24th of November. We did not vote against any of the articles on the agenda, so there was not much for me to say on that one. On the 29th of November, I went for the presentation of the budget, the agglomeration. It was a bit more interesting. We made some interventions. Mr. Masala, the Mayor of Montreal West, who was the president of the ASM, stated that it was unfair, not equitable, the way the CAPAO is calculated. We're at an average of 8% per member, with no services added for all of the 13 municipalities. It's funny, there was an agreement by the president of the executive committee, Madame Olivier, who agreed that it was not equitable, and she agreed to go to the minister of Quebec of Affairs to try and change the law, because this isn't the law the way it is, and it's not equitable. And I think you must have read the papers on the weekend or last week, how it came out with that. And we sent a letter to the Premier Minister, François Legault, and the Minister of Affairs, stating that. And it looks like we have some backing from the city of Montreal, but we'll see where it goes. That's all I have to say.
And the backing itself, just to say, it's news for us. And it comes from Madame Olivier that had expressed herself, but never said it publicly. So we're heading in the right
She
way.
did say publicly in the meeting.
Yeah,
It's not actually meeting.
yeah. Exactly. Okay, thank you, Paul. Anything else? I'm sorry. No, perfect, okay.
There is nothing under items 13 and 14. Le conseil municipal prend acte du dépôt de la correspondance du mois de novembre 2022 par la greffière. There is no new business table at the sitting, which brings us to the public question period. La période de questions est maintenant ouverte. Tout membre du public qui désire s'adresser au conseil municipal est prié de faire la file derrière le micro et de respecter la distanciation physique. Lorsque le droit de parole vous est accordé, veuillez ne pas toucher le micro, énoncer vos noms et adresses et formuler votre question de manière claire et concise en vous adressant au maire dans un langage respectueux. Chaque intervention est limitée à 2 questions. Il vous sera possible de poser des questions supplémentaires lorsque tous les membres du public qui désirent s'adresser au conseil auront eu l'occasion de le faire. Public question period is now open. Members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council are requested to line up behind the microphone and to respect physical distancing. When given the floor, please refrain from touching the microphone. State your name and address and direct your question to the mayor in a clear and concise manner using respectful language. Each intervention is limited to 2 questions. You will be able to ask additional questions once all members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council has had a chance to do so.
Good evening, Susan Gingras, 258 Circle Boulevard. I don't know if
Just bring it down.
I don't know if it's.
Yeah, I can move it.
A little bit lower, sorry. Perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay. Good evening, Susan
Good evening.
Gingras, 258 Kirkland Boulevard. I'm here to follow up on the question of last month, which tonight you were, from what I understand, you're indicating the dismissal of the interest for webcasting the Kirkland Council meetings?
exactly.
Okay, and my question is, how many of the residents did you approach on the interest of webcasting?
We didn't approach the residents. It's a council decision.
For our interest?
Yeah, but we took a decision based on the council that are close to your residents in your district, and it's their opinion. That's what I can say. There was 3 that wanted to have the video added to the audio. And the audio, everybody's satisfied with the current situation where it's reproduced the following day.
So my
Okay,
question,
just a moment. First of all, Mr. Pigeon, please have some respect for the person that's asking the question, okay?
yes, and on that note, Mr. Pigeon did also submit, he did tell me, because I was one of the people that signed.
Okay,
We have a citizen who went door to door to try and approach our citizens of
yes.
Kirkland.
I'm aware of the petition. There was 400 names, something like that.
Yes,
I
yes,
verified some of them, but petition, some of the residents I knew, I found 5 that they didn't have internet. So they signed a petition and it's just a little something that I'd like to say. That's all. Yeah, there was a petition of 400 names.
so we might have about 5 people that reside in Kirkland without internet? Yeah,
They were in Kirkland. They have Kirkland residents without internet. There's still some.
okay.
Okay, for the petition, we're aware of the petition. It was a
Yes,
deposit
that's
by
the
Mr.
petition.
Pigeon.
Yes, my question was, how many citizens did you, the council,
Draft.
Quite a few.
on
I
your
don't know
own?
the exact numbers, but quite a few. And it's a decision taken by the councilors that are here, that are representing every district.
That's
So
right,
their
you're
opinions-
stewards for it.
their
You are
opinion
stewards
counts.
for it. You are
The
stewards
majority
for it.
of the council voted not to include the audio in the video, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the 3 that opposed, can I ask the others, why did you not oppose?
No, it's not
Why did they
necessary.
not oppose it? 3 of them wanted, why did the rest, The ones who do not want
Okay,
it.
first of all, I'll give you my own opinion regarding of council. I've got some notes here. First of all, back in 2013, when I ran as mayor, I proposed basically the audio and recording of the question period, and so that it could be available the following day. We're there at this present time. The video itself, I know it's being done in other municipalities, some not, some yes. I know Beaconsfield, for an example, they've got a video. I got some numbers here, just to give you an idea of what's going on presently.
That's what George Borrell.
No, just a moment. Let me finish what I'm presenting, please. Okay, they do have video and audio, okay? In our case, we got basically the audio only. And for the last 7 months, we had an average of, per month, of 44 hits. That means people going on the site to listen to what we're saying. It could be the same person going twice or 3 times. That I don't know, but at least there was 44 hits. Beaconsfield, we got the numbers from their IT department. They've got video and audio, and they've got basically 66 hit average a month. So there's a difference of 22. So it's just to give you basically a perspective of what's happening in both cities, because everybody's ramming and getting the video to see our face. Personally, what I saw recently, and I won't mention any names, there was a mayor, and his name is Daniel Côté, the mayor of Gaspé. And Gaspé, and he's the president of the UMQ, representing all the municipalities in the province of Quebec. And recently, there's somebody from Kirkland, won't mention any name, that had the audacity of putting his picture there in an odd situation and disclaiming something that he took a decision with his council. And that's one of the reasons why we don't want the people to basically use our face. Our words can be docked at this present time, or anything can be done. But what I saw recently on certain council of the video being presented to the rest, it's, in certain case, it's really a disgrace to see what's happening in some of these councils. We're open, and you don't need to see my face to basically, I don't know what it would give you more to see my face when you got everything that I say the following day.
But that happening in Gaspé, right?
No, but Gaspé, yeah, they use it.
How many times do you think that happens?
Oh, it happens all the time. Look at the political campaigns at this present time and what, listen, that's my own opinion.
Social media is out
For now,
there, Mr. Gibson, we know that.
It's used as,
But can we not use it for the good? Can we not use our broadcasting?
in
for
many
the
cases,
good?
we use it in malicious intent, you know?
There's always somebody like that.
Oh, definitely, I do agree, yeah. But for now, coming back to the decision making, we, 8 councillors and the mayor, I gave you my opinion, but it was 8 councillors.
But the councillors go out there in public. There was a perfect demonstration. We had the Santa Claus.
And we
record.
decided,
We had the.
there 6 of the 8 councillors decided, no, I don't want people to see my face.
5.
5, I'm sorry.
Could I just make a statement, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
But how
I
can
reiterate the
somebody-
same opinion as the mayor, as in each of us has our reasons why.
Your microphone.
We don't hear you.
I reiterate the opinion of the mayor, and when he explained the logic to you,
Okay, good.
and each of us has our own reasons why we feel, okay, audio should suffice, or audio and video. Remember, this is next day, recorded. This is not live broadcast, and even the other councils agreed to this. Remember that. So when I have an opinion, I speak to 200-300 of my residents each year. I go door to door. I get their perspectives. We each have our validation why we feel audio should suffice or it should not to play next day. You're capable of going online, hearing all the questions from the residents. You're just not able to see the drama and faces and whatever of the person, but you hear their questions, so if you have a concern, you're able to log in and have that opportunity. So this is what I explain to my residents when I go meet them. I explain to them, and that's it.
Yeah, okay, look, Mr. Go ahead.
Just to close out with both the mayor and the two mics, like Michelle and Michael just indicated right now. I agree with what they've said, but I want to add another thing too. There is no public outcry for this. And the statistics that Mr. Mayor indicated illustrate that there's no public outcry. When you post something and there's 20 people that show up or 40 people that show up out of a community of 20,000, there is no public outcry. So let's stop talking about this as a public outcry. It just isn't there.
I didn't say it was a public outcry, but how did you reach the people to come out to go for the Santa breakfast?
Mr. Brown just
How
asked
did
me
you
to
reach-
Explain that.
Yeah, and as I said, it's exactly like what Mr. Brown just indicated. But when you present something saying, oh, we've got 400 signatures, you make it sound like there's a public outcry. That's what I take from that.
No, I don't think I was saying it was a
Okay,
public
that's
outcry.
fine. Then we agree, there is no public outcry.
Because it wasn't a public outcry by saying 400 names, my question was, how many residents did you approach to see if they wanted this?
Well, we just explained the process, our process.
I don't-
We're close to our residents because our districts are of a certain size. We see them at events, we see them as we go for walks down the street. We talk to them on a continual basis. And at least in my sector, I don't see anybody really desiring to see that.
So,
That's how I made my decision.
and that's the
Period.
opinions of the people who are not opposed. And the ones who are opposed, do they not feel that there's a benefit?
Okay,
For
I'll
us?
let Councillor Dufall express.
Yes, you've asked us how many did we consult of our residents on this matter? I've been a council for a few years. I know my residents. I'm in contact with them on a daily basis. I walk the streets, and I can tell you, I've had nobody call me and say, we want webcasting. Nobody, never, not once. Not once. I've been around for 17 years. And that's why I don't think there's a need. And that's why I voted against the video portion.
And the ones that are opposed, what do they feel? That there's a benefit, like Nancy was saying, to people that can't get out.
They can always listen to the audio the following day.
They'll listen. Okay,
Hear
when do they
everything
pose-
that we're
when
saying,
do they
and
pose
they'll
their
hear,
questions like
and
now?
they'll hear also the resident expressing themselves.
When do they pose their questions or concerns like I am right here now tonight?
Repeat your question. Oh, I'm sorry.
When do they have the opportunity? Is it the following day? on
It's the following day, all the
They can,
recordings.
they can pose their questions there, is what you're saying.
The recording, anybody can go on our website and listen to what you said, what I said, what council said.
Okay, can they pose a question at that point? More
Or they can send an email
emails
or come in public.
or come in public like we do tonight?
Yeah.
Because I'm just going by, I'm just being honest, I'm going by how the world is operating today. I mean, I attend Zoom calls, I attend meetings online, which are open.
Yeah.
And then after that, they unmute you, you do the hand raise, you ask
Yeah.
questions. This is the time we're living in.
I did a
And I'm not one
dozen,
of the young ones, okay? I'm in the senior category.
yeah, I did
This is what
a
we're
dozen
proposing.
of these Teams and Zoom meeting, yeah, because of COVID, we were.
Not just with COVID, this is
We're
where
forced
we're
to.
intending to go forward to.
Yeah.
You can meet with your financial planner in this way today.
Mhm.
Try and get in-person appointments
Yeah.
on some things in life. So
But
this
that's
is where
how we
everything's
came to our
going.
decision.
And what about the three that are opposing? Have they
I'm
influenced?
sorry,
The three opposing
yeah.
tonight? I mean, nothing that was said by them was enough weight?
Listen, based on the decision that was rendered, they did express themselves really, you know. And they explained, Steve, Nancy, and Karen explained what they wanted, but it's a decision.
They're outnumbered.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
exactly.
It's a majority rule,
Yeah.
and we can give all the arguments we want. We have very good arguments. My
Yeah.
argument would
Is-
be that when I went door to door, talking to my residents and asking specifically, because that was one of the.
When you went
thing-
door to door, I
Yes.
never had mine come
And
door
what,
to door.
no, in my district, in my district, I went door to door in my district, and the people said that there was a great interest in having the video portion, like the audio, the next day. That's the first part. The second part you asked is, why would you want to have video when you can have audio? And to me, there's a certain decorum that's created. When you're on live television, you're not making funny faces, you're not acting up, you're not. To me, it would install a certain decorum also on both sides. So that's one reason. And the third thing is 44 hits, 20 hits, 60 hits. To me, if I can help one person that's handicapped, one person that can't get out, one person, whoever it is, to me, it's well worth it. And it's something that my residents told me they wanted. I represent my residents, and that's why I opposed. Everybody else is free to make their own decision.
Exactly.
They go about it in their own way, and we got outvoted. Doesn't mean we're going to stop fighting for it. We're all going to fight for it, but we lost this one.
Well, thank you, and I mean, that's the same thing as you're saying, do I listen to the news on the TV more often than I would go and sit in the next room and listen to it on the radio? What's your answer? Ask that to people. So,
We tried.
Okay.
yeah, okay, thank you for answering.
You're welcome.
I'm disappointed,
Okay.
so.
Okay, next question.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. I've read that draft bylaw concerning what was just been discussed. And,
Your name and address.
beg your pardon, Ken Lyons, 18 Araldo.
Okay.
Been there for 32 years.
Oh,
Anyhow, that bylaw, and I've read it from one end to the other.
which one?
The one we just spent 15 minutes on.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh,
And I have an issue that you said we got in there, it's quite clear, 2 questions, 5 minutes,
yep.
okay? Now, that's very nice. I can have 2 questions and be over and done with in 1 minute,
Yeah.
and then I can walk out. But who in the hell's gonna police the 5 minutes? Because when I found out this lady that talked, it's fine.
Yeah.
I agree with her point wholeheartedly, but it went on way too damn long.
Mhm.
And so if you're not gonna allow, if you're gonna allow people to talk longer, well, you better spell it out. Either that or you actually enforce
Respect,
it.
it's respect, call it respect, yeah.
Pardon me?
It's called respect, even if the time is a little bit longer, you know.
Anyhow, okay, I got a question concerning the windows going in Loblaws. Is there an expansion to the building? There's no expansion, so you're not occupying the same space? That's
No.
right.
There's no expansion to the building, and Joe Fresh is still in the other building, but upstairs on the second floor.
It's a different building?
No, same building.
Yeah, I know, but it's not.
Does not change size. They made the Provigo part smaller. If you go in, you'll notice that it's much smaller. They took away a few aisles. And they added the Winners part on in the same building. The Joe Fresh part, which was downstairs, is now going to be upstairs. In fact, I think it's already there on the second floor of the Provigo.
Okay, so Joe Fresh is going up and
Where they
staying.
used to give cooking lessons and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. One question.
Yep.
And so, no, I'm sure you noticed that the water that we were drinking up till about last week, it was great. Didn't stink, tastes fine. When you boiled it, it smelled fine. Well, since the weekend, guess what? It stinks, not as bad as it is in summertime and in early fall. And of course, you drink that stuff and bleh. I noticed that there are not too many glasses on the table, and I noticed that, a lot of water there as well. So, well, Joe, does that come from home?
Nope.
Yeah, but they got filters.
So my main question is that at the water plant, they use carbon filters, to try to minimize that. It seems to me that they're not rigid enough, and they should improve it, because I don't see why we have to put up with that. I can understand it in the summertime. This time of year, I don't understand, because I've never experienced that in all the years I've been here.
I don't dictate the filters that the plants use, because they're run by the city of Montreal. I know that my staff, I believe today, addressed the issue of water, speaking to you about the fact that for a while we were served by water from Point from Purefall and not from
That's right.
Point Claire.
That was nice water.
Right? And anyways, what I will do, Ken, I promise that I will take your comments about the carbon filters, and I will pass those on to the plant and see what can be done about it.
Since when, by the way, this weekend?
Yeah, since this weekend.
Okay.
And Joe, just to add also, the water levels in the river are still very low. So where are they going? It's still very low. So.
They got filters.
Yeah, but the idea of the filter is fine. Thank you, that's it.
Okay, merci, Ken.
Good evening, Lorraine of the Chevrolet 98 Morley Hill. I have a question which long time ago I know the answer to, but I'm not sure that I know the answer anymore. The budget place under the library.
The what?
The budget place.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Are there any restrictions for the citizens of Kirkland going there and availing themselves of the activities or the?
You have to be a member of the club.
You have to be a member of the club?
To play the pool table, to play.
How about just visiting?
Visiting? No, it's not.
You're not even.
You need to be a member of the club itself.
So.
It's easy.
So if I was to bring my wife there and she's not interested in being a member, just wants to come and visit somebody, she's not allowed to go
Listen,
there?
we can visit it tomorrow. Bring her in and we'll open the door. If you want to see what's in here.
No.
You want to use the facility, that's what you're saying?
I'm trying to find out if there are any restrictions placed on Kirkland residents to go or not to go
The
there.
principle, you need to be a member.
Why do you need to be a member?
Yeah, to play bocce.
If you don't want to play bocce,
What do you want to do there?
just go there and be with other people. Just to visit other people.
Okay. But what, I don't know how to understand that.
Visitors are allowed to come and look at the club. No problem there.
Yes, you've got open hours. I open every noon for the 55 plus. If you've got open house philosophy or the members or the organization of the Baji, like they did with the 55 plus, they've got a noon kind of come and meet us and come and visit our club. But ask probably the Benito Rossi if they've got a similar kind of address or to basically lure more members in. Then you can visit it freely.
But what about people that, as I said, because there's a few Italian-speaking people there, and they just want to visit it, just for the evening.
And when it's open by the club members, you can drop in. They'll welcome you,
So
for sure.
does anybody have the right to tell you, you're not a member, you're not allowed to be here?
No, a visitor can come in.
Hang on a second, I'm trying to be.
A visitor, like Bob said, a visitor can come in and eventually they'll greet you and all that. And if you want to join, you join.
So let me be more specific. Anybody that's a Kirkland resident can go there and he cannot be told you're not a member, you cannot be here?
No, you're going for a reason to look at the club.
To look at the
If you
club,
want to
to
play,
meet
they've
other
got
people,
schedule.
whatever.
They've got schedule.
No, he wants to know if he can partake in the activities and not be a member. Why don't you just ask
I
him?
think
No,
Marino,
no,
Marino.
If I can ask a question like that,
Marino,
yes,
before you leave, I'll give you the phone number and of the president of
oh, I
the,
spoke with Frank a couple of times, she's a very, very nice lady.
and what did she tell you?
I want to hear from you, I don't want to hear from anybody else.
Listen, we don't
I'm
get,
not a member, do I have the right to,
Marino,
as a
we
current
don't
resident,
get-
to be there or
we
not?
don't get involved in the politics of the club. It's run by the members. Bob, you're right.
I can understand if I wanted to play bocce, if I wanted to play pool, but if I just want to go there, to be there, because I'm a Kirkland resident,
Just drop in when they're open and Bob will greet you and come and see them.
All over,
I,
yeah.
I want
And
to
Paul,
see him.
Paul's part of the executive and also, Bob. Paul in the back there.
So anyway, the bottom line is, I have the right as a Kirkland resident to be there. Thank you.
Not to be there, though, put words in your mouth. Don't let him put words in your mouth.
You got the right to visit.
You've got the right to visit, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Next question.
I wanted to ask this quite a few times ago. The October 26th, West Island article in the Gazette
On what?
about the overpass and the bicycle path and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
I'm
we've got.
very much so discouraged by the Kirkland services with regards to bicycle paths. I cannot think of any good cycling path other than the one between the Trans-Canada Service Road and Mountain View, and then even that one is broken up into two sections because the five entrance.
You're
Do
talking.
we have any plans?
Yes, we do. By the way, we got a presentation for the people that lives in that area concerning some modifications that we'll be doing to road work on Saint Marie. Which is it? December 14. It will be on our webpage. Will be on our webpage. We got a meeting in the afternoon. Any evening, you can come and join us. We'll explain to everybody. It will be, we'll have 4 of our personnel in place to explain exactly what we want to do.
December 14 where?
There'll be some station.
Yeah, but December 14 we're here?
Exactly here, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because according to the article, I mean, I don't want to wait until 2027 to be able to enjoy my bike. According to the
You're
article.
talking
in the
about
city.
Montreal there. Yeah,
You know?
but that's Montreal, we're careful, please.
Well, that's why I'm asking
And
the
that's why
question,
we've got to
when
make-
can I start enjoying
I just
my
told you.
bike anymore? Again,
Hey, come
December
come
14.
over and you'll see, it will be a nice project.
December 14 here.
Yeah.
What time
Great.
then?
2 to 4:30, 5:30.
Yeah,
Three.
and it will be on our webpage also,
Okay.
and on our Facebook page. Okay?
Luc Pigeon, 16876 Hymas.
See.
423 signatures. I consulted 500 people, 500 people.
Parfait.
So that's not a small amount. 423 out of 500 want video.
Très bon travail, monsieur.
No problem, because I'll get another 500 next year.
Perfect.
I want to congratulate Steve for excellent comment about why you opposed it.
Okay.
My first question will be, can we hear from Nancy and Karen why they opposed it, please?
Go ahead, Karen.
Hi, Mr. Pigeon.
Hi.
I do agree with the statement that Stephen said. If we can help 1 or 2 or 3 people, to me, it's still worth it. I think it's also to be progressive. That's where things are headed. Another aspect of it is that there are some people that cannot go out. There's mothers that have kids that can't go in at 8 o'clock. There's people that are sick. There's older people that find it difficult. There's weather impediments as well. So I think it's a service that we should offer citizens, although it may take time for it to be more popular. But I also believe that it will encourage participation in the city as well. I think it will grow eventually. And I completely agree with having video access.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Pigeon, I took a lot of thought process went into this. Actually, many pages of thought process went into this. I have to agree very, very strongly with what Stephen had said. If just one person, we can make a difference with one person is more than enough for us to put a little bit of money behind webcasting, if you like, which is video and audio played the next day. Now, one other thing is that I'm a visual person. So on my behalf, like Susan had said, I'd rather go to the TV and watch the conversation visually, understand the mood, understand how we move and how we speak and how we express ourselves. I'd rather visually watch to better understand than listen. And that's because I'm a visual person, and rest assured, there's a lot of other people out in Kirkland that are visual like I am. So it's very, very important for me that we have both visual and audio, and that's why.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you very much.
One more comment, Mr. Pigeon. I just want to add one comment, Mr. Pigeon.
Sorry.
I also consulted many of my residents, and I would say that everyone that I spoke to, there was none opposed to this, and that I had strong support for video in my district with the people that I've spoken to in the past many years. Also been here for 42 years, so I know quite a few. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Next question.
I sent this one already by email, but I'd like to read it out, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you heard or you've seen on the news Canada's unveiling of its first climate adaptation strategy costing $1.6 billion over the next 5 years will make taxpayers pay for the climate crisis that they helped to create. These taxes will increase dramatically as the crisis worsens, and taxpayers will finally realize, hopefully, that climate change is an existential threat to their pocketbook. Will Kirkland taxpayers have to pay municipal and provincial climate adaptation taxes in addition to the federal climate adaptation taxes in the foreseeable future? Perhaps you know the answer to that.
Now, I've got a reply. The city does not plan to implement special tax for adaptation to climate change. We would also like to inform you that our administration looked on a regular basis for various grants offered by the various level of government. A good example is the provincial grant our town received for writing a sustainable mobility plan. It covered 50% of our expense. For provincial and federal taxes concerning adaptation to climate change, we recommend that you contact the level of government directly to address your question. Provincial and federal cannot answer for that. That's my reply.
Okay, I'll come back later if possible to ask another question.
Okay?
Thank you.
Good evening, Lucy Adams for Ewell Street. My first question is about municipal taxes. What are the chances of the agglomeration having a special sitting between now and January 16th with the possibility of putting it back on the agenda on the 16th again before we get our tax bill?
We'll have a presentation ourselves on the 19th of December.
Okay.
Presentation to our public concerning the actual rollout of our tax for 2023. It will be out on December the 19th at 7 p.m. and it will be out right here. So you'll know exactly where we're going. You'll see the what's happening with the code part of the agglomeration, where it's affecting us in our budget, and we'll be basically presenting you exactly where we're going for 2023.
The question was,
What are the chances?
What are the chances that we can put this back on the agenda on the 16th of January when we come here for a regular meeting? With regards to, not only the progress you're making with the agglomeration sittings, but also with regards to, we're gonna get closer and closer to getting our tax bill. I wanna know if I have to sell my house because I can't pay my taxes,
Yeah, on the 19th of December.
Okay.
Because that will be the date where we'll be in a position to tell you basically the impact.
Okay, so the impact could be 8%.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that at all.
Okay, but it could be.
You'll see we've got a meeting concerning the scenario that we're looking at, that we'll be presenting to the one scenario in particular that we'll present to the population or the resident. And it will be basically that December 19th, but it will be a scenario that always takes into account our residents.
Okay. My second question is about the Club 55 Plus.
Yes.
In particular, it's connected to this afternoon when we had a presentation on CPR and the use of the defibrillator and et cetera and so forth. And I discovered two things this afternoon. One is that the defibrillator on the wall speaks only French. And two, there is a room that is kept locked that is behind the door, the inside door.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a medical supplies room where there's a stretcher and a board, the board that you would use for doing CPR and other medical supplies. That door is locked.
It's used for hockey tournament setting it, when they've got somebody manning it during those tournaments to make sure if somebody is basically hurt,
Okay.
that's the first place.
So those people have a key to that door.
Yeah, it's a little compartment, a little office where you've got like you're saying, your stretcher, you've got.
So I'm just wondering why we don't have a key to get in there,
And you got in the 55 plus club, you've got a defibrillator there.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but the access why have it access to something meant for hockey games that I don't understand.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, if something happens.
I get you, we can get that on the floor, that's fine.
No, but that's just that if something happened in I hope none, the defibrillator is there to basically help the person that's there. But the first responders will be the ones, you don't want to bring a senior there to that room.
No, you don't want to bring the senior there, you want to bring the equipment that's in that room into the 55 plus club room.
Yeah, but it's only, I saw it, I would say, 1 week ago. It's just a table.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that office is off limit. It's for when you've got somebody like, the St. John's ambulance, when there's a tournament and all that, they basically are positioned there if in case something happens.
Okay, I understand.
But there's no medical equipment there. There's nothing. They bring their own stuff. We don't store plasters. We don't store nothing there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Bonsoir, je suis affiché transport Chaudière à Kirkland. C'est juste, dans un premier temps, pour un éclaircissement, peut-être une réponse du Mme Lagrivière. À l'item 5.1, c'est un avis de motion et un dépôt de règlement.
Oui.
Fait que, en principe, quand M. le maire nous dit que le conseil a voté pour, il y a seulement que voter pour un avis de motion.
Oui, ils peuvent s'exprimer encore lorsqu'on...
C'est en plein ça. C'est juste que quand vous dites que c'est le conseil qui a voté, il n'a pas voté, c'est le caucus qui s'est entendu à savoir qui était pour ou qui était contre.
Oui, oui, c'est ça.
C'est juste ça que je l'ai.
Ah, ok, très bien.
On va avoir le budget le
19.
Le 19. Si je comprends bien, vous allez prendre en considération la vente du terrain qu'on a là, les sacrifices que les citoyens de Kirkland ont fait dans les derniers 8 ans, en ce qui a trait à l'acquisition, aux taxes, aux prorata qui n'ont pas été payés, etc. Fait que ça devrait apparaître sur notre compte de taxes, où on ne devrait pas avoir d'augmentation de taxes. C'est ici. Ça fait 8 ans qu'on paie.
Oui. Mais écoute, tout est pris en considération. Mais pour le terrain en tant que tel, comme on peut vu ce soir, on fait des réserves spéciales pour mettre l'argent de côté pour les projets futurs. Puis pour les infrastructures.
Oui, mais pendant les 8 ans que.
Je te comprends.
On devrait prendre ça en considération sur le budget.
Ben, écoute,
la portion de Kirkland ne devrait pas avoir d'augmentation.
Ouais.
Juste item 6.1, 6.2 puis 6.6. Peut-être que monsieur le directeur pourrait nous expliquer c'est quoi. On a des arbres à 3 places différentes.
Non, il y a des raisons différentes pour les trois items.
Commençons par 6.1.
Le 6.1, c'est du travail sectoriel, c'est qu'à tous les années, il y a un programme d'entretien tous les ans dans la ville. Ça va se faire un fois par 5 ans. Il y a aussi des demandes spéciales des citoyens qui viennent, qui augmentent à l'entour de 150 heures par année. Puis ça, s'il y a une demande de personnes qui font le sectoriel, de faire le travail, ça ralentit leur travail, ça dit qu'on a embauché une deuxième compagnie pour faire tout le toit bas, pour travailler sur ces arbres-là. Le troisième, c'est quand il y a des tempêtes avant, qui rentrent avec le bon équipement pour être capable d'utiliser les maisons.
C'est pas toute la même gang qui fait ça.
C'est pas toute la même gang.
Ah, ok. Non, je suis curieux.
Si c'était tout le monde, il ne pouvait pas travailler sur les trois tempêtes en même temps.
L'autre chose, on parlait de l'article 5.1. Je peux juste imaginer demain matin quand je vais écouter l'audio, qu'on va parler des.
Charles, ce soir, je suis la réglementation. C'est ta troisième question.
Ah!
OK, parfait.
Bonsoir, André Allard, 95 Montréal. Près du micro, André, on t'entend. André Allard, 95 Montréal. J'aurais plus que 2 questions, M. le maire.
Oui.
La première, à 7.5, on dit la création d'une réserve financière avec l'acquisition de terrain. Est-ce que c'est parce qu'on a des terrains encore à acheter à quelqu'un?
Non, mais ça, c'est le terrain qu'on a vendu à Roosevelt.
Oui.
On s'est gardé dans l'offre d'achat une option pour une partie du terrain, pour un projet futur. Et puis, le 9 millions que tu vois, tu parles de 9 millions?
Oui.
Exactement, c'est ça. C'est une portion du terrain. On va avoir l'option, on a 2 ans pour prendre l'option de l'acheter au prix qu'on l'a vendu pour un projet futur. Parce qu'on a l'intention, pour le moment, il faut que je fasse attention, c'est pas décidé. Et puis, un centre récréatif, mais j'arrête là.
OK.
Wow, that's good.
Vous parlez aussi de 7.4, de réserve financière destinée aux infrastructures municipales. Je présume que ça couvre les rues. Et ça doit couvrir d'autres choses.
7.4, là?
Oui.
Non,
il y a 58 millions de création de réserve
ah
financière.
oui, ça c'est pour les infrastructures. Futures, présentes et futures.
On investit cet argent-là?
Oui, mais on l'a placé.
Oui.
Et puis, ça va être utilisé, c'est une réserve spéciale, parce qu'on ne peut pas le mettre dans un surplus. Parce que, écoute, le gouvernement en tant que tel regarderait ça, puis ça nous pénaliserait sur des octrois ou des subventions. Donc, on le met dans une réserve pour le moment, avec intérêt, et ainsi de suite.
Le refinancement du montant de 3,5 500 000 à 7,1, c'est pour des infrastructures?
Oui, exactement.
Alors,
ça fait partie du 58 qui fait.
On finance vous dites que vous financez à 4,5 %? Si on a du cash, pourquoi on ne paye pas,
Ouais,
pourquoi on
pour
a
le
pas
financement, je
3,5
vais
millions?
laisser Joe.
Malheureusement, monsieur Allard, c'était trop tard pour. Nous autres, on avise le gouvernement un an avant. C'est-à-dire qu'on a avisé avant que même le vente de terrain ait lieu. Mais dans le futur, oui, c'est une option qu'on va regarder. c'est sûr.
C'est surtout là, le taux d'intérêt monte, là.
Oui.
Oui.
T'as de l'argent comptant. J'avais une autre question.
C'est ta deuxième?
Oui.
Je viens de.
No, no, let him go.
J'en ai 2 minutes.
OK, non, on va aller, écoute, on se... Pour l'autorisation, on veut établir une règle. C'est deux questions, je viendrai par après.
Je sais.
Peut-être un point aussi, on a placé l'argent qui avait même
Disons que j'avais une question, là j'ai une question. Le ministère de la Culture a décidé de protéger la maison de M. Daudin. De quelle façon ça affecte le projet tel qu'il était présenté, tel qu'il avait été approuvé l'année passée?
Pour le moment, je sais qu'on a eu un avis, et puis Joe, on est en train de l'étudier. Mais pour le moment, écoute, il n'y a rien comme le comité de démolition du temps où ça a été fait.
Ouais,
on a décidé de ne pas agir, de ne pas donner une réponse favorable ou défavorable. C'est tout simplement pour le moment, ça affecte pas nous en tant que tel, Kirkland, mais ce qu'on peut voir dans le futur, c'est le propriétaire qui appartient au terrain à l'heure actuelle, avec le gouvernement, on prévoit des périodes difficiles, tu sais, au point de vue, il va peut-être avoir des actions légales, là, mais pas pour nous autres, nous on n'est pas impliqués dans ça, c'est une décision du gouvernement.
Et la dernière question, le projet de développement Préven.
Écoute, André,
est-ce que ça avance?
Non, j'aimerais que tu reviennes, tu es rendu à la 4e ou 5e question.
Ma dernière question.
Non. OK, on va laisser, tu reviendras après. OK, who's next?
Bob Cox, 168 Niagara. 7.4, 7.5, I want to discuss that amount of money, that 58,000. We, at the last, million, I'm sorry, okay. At the last conseil in November, or October, we had 68 million. 67 million, and you said plus another 1.5 million or something.
Yeah, if you calculate 58 plus...
Plus 9?
61 plus 9, yeah. You're 70. There's 9 million there in 70.
Okay, so that money that we have, you said that there's a project coming up in the future on part of the land.
There may be a project.
There may be a project.
There
We've got
might-
an option to
But
purchase.
you got an option of the land.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm looking
Come
at it,
closer to the, put your mask, yeah.
yes, okay. When I'm looking at it, it could be a brand new cultural center.
Could be anything for me.
Anything, swimming pool.
Could be a swimming pool, inside splash park, swimming.
No, not inside splash
But, no, there will be something, but we didn't make a decision. But we've got a reserve on that piece of land, and we've got some money aside, and.
Well, you got 70 million aside.
Yeah, and for now, I'm not ready to announce absolutely nothing. But I know where you're going.
When is the future?
There'll be something there, but I'm not ready to announce it.
Oh, I understand. Okay, coming back to the university.
I'm sorry, okay, just, what?
So this we'll be hearing more during the year 2023?
Yep.
24,
25. No.
Just a second, 24, 25.
We'll be in a position in 23, I don't know when, but we'll be in a position
To announce
something. Luke, you want to say something?
He's not trying to be evasive, it just looks that way. Basically, what it is, yeah, we'd like to build something there, but we have to be able to afford what we put there, and that's gonna be tied to the development that's happening all over the city, okay? There's the smart center that's kind of on hold, but the smart center, there's Prevail, like Mr. Allard was saying before, there's the northwest area and my area.
Yes.
So you need to be able to have a need for it, and the need's going to be created by the increase in population, and our ability to pay for the operating costs is going to be related to the additional taxes that these developments, so we have to time it just right. So you can't tell you exactly on this particular date, because these developments are all in different stages of development. So
But there's
yes.
a development going at McFrost.
Yeah, but
There's a development going at the Brick.
yeah, but no, you're right. These are the developments that are on paper, but you need to have those developments in the ground. Okay?
The ground is started at McFrost.
No, they tore something down in their frost. Okay? As it starts developing and we start getting additional people, residents in Kirkland, then we'll see clearer as to what the timing is. So it's not a matter of trying to push it just arbitrarily into the future, but having a rationale for, you go and buy a mansion, but you can't afford to heat it. We don't want to get into that situation.
No, but
So that's all this is about. It's no one's trying to be.
at this time, when citizens from Kirkland, that they have to wait to go swimming at Beaconsfield and all that, it's about time that we look at a new cultural center.
We will, that's what we're looking at.
I
our
understand.
project.
No,
I understand your
no
point.
one's saying no. No one's saying no. We just want to time it just right so that we don't put ourselves into any financial difficulties.
Okay,
That's really all it's about.
thank you very much. Okay,
My second question is,
go ahead.
as a demerged city, as we're demerging cities, I look at it, the West Island, all the demerged cities should become one big city. And we won't have to give 32 or 35 million dollars to the city of Montreal or listen to what they want to do. And we have to give out half of our taxes to Montreal for what? For little services? You understand what I mean? One fire department, 3 cop cars, 4 cop cars, or police cars to deal with Beaconsfield, Kirkland, St. Anne de Belleville, Centerville, Bay Durfee.
We all agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's about time that every council on the West Island, the demerged cities, start realizing maybe we could build one hell of a big city.
Yeah, but you still have to share the same service.
No, at that point,
Oh, you create your own police force and all that. Okay, it's a good suggestion, but. They were thinking about it, what you said, they were thinking about it 8 summers of years ago, before the demerger, but the mayors couldn't basically get together and make a decision on it. Yeah, and it's also, like Joe was saying, controlled by the provincial government. Okay, next question.
For now.
Okay,
Can I say a few words?
yes, go ahead.
Jack Ciambini, 29 Harmony, obviously I'm before Kirkland, 42 years. I'm generally very, very happy with council. Each one of you worked very, very hard. To cite an example, I called Nancy a couple of weeks ago. My neighbor's too shy to call for help. There was a marker missing on the road there, indicating where the sewer is, so that, and she got it done within a few days. Congratulations, good job. Good job, Nancy. The other thing is, about 10 days ago in the morning, I opened the tap and the water was very rusty. But it's a good thing it was only in my toilet, in my bedroom, and not in my kitchen. Otherwise, I could not have made spaghetti. Concerning the first aid room, if it's locked, if it's an emergency, if you have to look for a key, if you can't find it, why don't the president keep that emergency room open and then they lock it up after if necessary? Because that's very, very important.
Okay.
Concerning Marino's request, I've been with Marino 35 years. Benito Clapi and I were instrumental along with Moon to the Shapeland to get it going, thanks to the city that they started and they made well. But every person, Kirkland resident, could go there as a visitor. If you just walk in and they'll give you even a coffee, no cognac though. I should have had a few more questions, but I've limited to 2. Thank you very much. Buon Natale, Joyeux Noël, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Good job, guys.
Thank you. Mr. Alar? Ok, c'est vrai.
Je veux juste savoir qu'est-ce qui arrive avec le projet de Prével.
Ben, basé sur ce qu'on sait jusqu'à maintenant, il est supposé d'avoir dans la nouvelle année quand. Puis sur le site, c'est quand même historique la façon qu'est-ce qu'ils planifient faire dans les mois à venir. Ils sont supposés d'avoir un office de banque qui va être mis en place. Et puis, à partir de là, la construction va commencer. Mais ça va être au printemps. Moi, je m'attends.
Alors en 2023, c'est ça que vous dites?
L'août, c'est ça.
C'est exactement
Et
ça.
Steve, c'est bien
La
ça.
première phase a été approuvée, donc il faut procéder à la construction.
Ouais, ils peuvent commencer.
Ils vont faire toute l'infrastructure en même temps. Toutes les rues vont être faites, l'infrastructure, puis ça va être fait. Et après ça, ils vont commencer à faire des maisons, etc.
C'est bon, merci.
OK. Il y avait aussi monsieur.
Am I allowed?
Ouais.
I find it strange, Mike, that you would say that the audio that is recorded right now, all the time since we started recording, is good, because it's awfully bad. I'm sorry. The reason I keep wanting to submit or to depose my question is when I listen, I can't even understand what my question was. I suppose a lot of people in Kirkland, well, a lot of people, 44, that come and listen to our council meetings. Like me, I can't believe that they would understand every word because you can't. Sorry.
So
But
you're
when
saying-
you think about improving it somehow?
So you're saying the audio is still bad?
Yeah, it's always been bad, but it was worse the first time. I think it was May or March when you started.
I tried it 3 days ago. Everything was, I could hear it perfectly. Unless we've got some damage recently.
There was, Mr. Pijot, there was one bad month that we corrected.
Yeah, but
I
that's
probably-
one point of it, and you mentioned it.
I've never compared the audio from our council meetings to that of Pierrefonds, Beaconsfield, Point Claire, Bay, what's it called, all the other cities. Bay Durfee, they're twice or 3 times better than ours. Sorry.
What I'm gonna compare it to is whether or not it's, you can listen to it and understand what's being said. So, we had one bad month where the audio was not clear.
It wasn't clear, it was nothing, you just heard.
Yeah, but
Would you
Mr.
mind if I
Joe,
can- would you mind if I
let him
finish and
finish.
actually
Yeah, go
add
ahead.
to the table? So there was one bad month. The audio, from what I understand, has been, the issue's been cleared up. I will listen to the audio tomorrow. Make sure-
Compare it to, I mean, it's
I
nice
don't
to
have to
listen.
compare. I just need to make sure that you can hear it, listen to it, and understand it. Whether you want me to compare it to other municipalities,
Yeah.
is not what I'm here for. What I'm here for is to make sure that, Mr. Pichot, what I'm here for is to make sure that what we do post on our website
is
is
understandable.
understandable. After that, that's where it ends. So I will listen to it tomorrow.
Okay, my other.
But it's very strange because I remember you told me twice that when we corrected the situation, the audio was great. Now
I don't remember saying
now-
great, I think I might have said it's better.
I remember it twice.
Do you have a recording, of that with good audio?
Okay, what's your next question?
My next question is, I heard pretty well everybody explain why some voted for video and some didn't, but my own counselor, I have 2 questions I would like him to answer. How many people did he consult?
We basically, okay, if you
And
want.
how many people out of your consultation, what percentage didn't want video? Please tell me.
Let me just say something, okay? What Mr. Luciano, Paul, and Mike Brown, exactly the same story, okay? The only difference is you don't see their faces. That's all, right?
That's not my question, Joe.
Okay, let me just keep going. I just want to get that clear. Here it is, okay? I went and I saw two, I think it was three people. Three people? No, listen, hang on, no. I saw on that list, on the petition, I went to see three people that signed that, okay? One of them said they had no idea what you were talking about, okay? They signed it, okay? They said if I wanted to go to a council meeting, I would go to a council meeting, I'm not interested. You know what they said to me? A couple of things. Keep my taxes low, clean my streets, okay? Pick up my garbage, that's all I'm interested. If they want anything else, they said they would call their councillor, and I'm very close to my residents. I know just about every resident in my area, okay? If they want to know anything, you can ask Mr. Ken Lyons, he's sitting right there. He calls me many times, many occasions, and I answer him. If I can't, I get back to him.
Did I ask him to sign
But these people, they're not interested. They're sensitive. They like the way it is right now, status quo. If they wanted anything, they would come here to the city hall on the first Monday, whatever it is of the month, and that's it.
That's your argument, that's your,
What else you want me to tell you? I saw three different people on that list that you saw, that you had signed.
How many did you see on the list?
I only saw three people, there
On the
was
list
many
from
people in my area.
District
There's
6?
many people in my area, but I talked to three of them that signed your petition.
Did you select the three that you knew would,
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
Thank
what else
you very
you
much.
want me to tell you?
Jean.
That's what your counselor was here for. And you
Mr.
also, when you ask me, you call me anytime, and I always give you the answers, right? You don't have to come
No, you
here.
don't always give me the answer. Thank you very much.
No.
Je viens encore à que vous votiez pour l'audio ou la TV ou quoi, on va dire comme c'est le cas, tu vois avec la majorité. C'est la première fois que j'entends le conseil parler, que tout le monde se met à parler au bout d'un sujet. Sur plusieurs sujets, on devrait faire la même chose. La seule chose, c'est que demain matin, M. le maire, quand vous allez écouter les enregistrements, mettez-vous à la place d'un citoyen, l'article 5.1, Règlement général 2022-51, intitulé Règlement des DG internes au conseil municipal, ville de Kirkland. Approuvé, il y a tout quelqu'un qui seconde. Après ça, si on va aux autres pages, 7.2, placement des deniers, autorisation. Et question d'éducation de la population, on devrait être plus clair.
Qu'est-ce que tu voudrais voir pour
On pourrait développer le raisonnement. Pourquoi on vote à 7.2, c'est quoi exactement le placement des deniers et autorisation? Il y a personne qui l'explique.
On va te l'expliquer.
Non, je parle juste pour les gens.
Tous les résidents ont la possibilité de le faire.
Non, c'est que là, ça va être enregistré, les gens vont l'écouter demain matin.
Oui. S'ils ont des clarifications, qu'ils téléphonent au conseil. Si tu
c'est clair, juste de développer, c'est quoi exactement vous votez pour? Non.
Mais développer, donne-moi un exemple de développer quoi?
C'est quoi l'utilisation des placements des deniers autorisation?
Oui.
C'est quoi?
Tu veux que je développe ça? Mais c'est que...
C'est quoi l'utilité?
Ben, la rencontre, si on y va selon ce que tu veux, elle finira jamais. C'est qu'à un moment donné, il faut que tu mettes le contenu qui est important à la résolution ou à l'avis de motion, mais je ne peux pas comprendre qu'est-ce qu'on peut mettre de plus que ce qui est là.
Juste, à quoi ça sert? C'est quoi l'utilisation? Pourquoi voter là-dessus?
C'est ça que je te dis. Si tu vas avoir une clarification après avoir écouté l'audio, tu lui téléphones, tu nous envoies le courriel, puis on va t'expliquer le fondement, le contenu.
Can I come up for another minute, because we only talk once a year? Jack Ciambini, 29 Harmony. Mr. Morrison, good job. Proud of you. Good job.
Thank you very much, sir.
The other thing is further to Bob Cox's question about the surplus 60 million that's going to be looked at, and perhaps we're going to use some of that to bring our tax like they do every year. Good job, maybe close to 4%. And I've read every conference. Thank you very much for allowing me to talk again.
Merci. OK, autre question? Ah, André? Mais ça te va bien, André.
J'ai pas besoin de finir.
une belle dame.
Santa Claus,
On a aussi des moustaches. Hein? Monsieur le maire,
Oui.
messieurs les conseillers, madame la conseillère, monsieur le directeur général et madame
Vous
la
entendez
directrice.
Juste avancer, près du micro.
Oui, l'audio est pas bien bon.
Bon. Là, c'est bon?
Oui.
Je recommence.
Excellent.
Monsieur le maire, messieurs les conseillers, madame les conseillères, monsieur le directeur général et madame la greffière, j'ai pas de questions à poser, mais j'ai des fleurs à vous envoyer.
Ça va faire du bien.
Oui, effectivement. Je veux vous dire merci de nous écouter. Merci de votre patience. Et merci de garder la ville de Kirkland une belle ville.
Merci.
Ça fait 39 ans que j'habite ici, puis à ma connaissance, à peu près toutes les décisions qui ont été prises, c'était les bonnes décisions. Je fais un petit commentaire sur l'enregistrement vidéo là, que ce soir. Je ne vois pas la nécessité justement d'avoir une vidéo pour 66 ou 50 hits versus une population de 20, 22, 23 000 personnes. Le jeu n'en vaut pas la chandelle, puis ça ne vaut pas la peine de dépenser pour ça.
Merci.
Parce que j'avais écrit une petite lettre, mais je l'ai oubliée chez moi. Là, je vous parle de nous, moi puis Suzanne. Aujourd'hui, c'est la dernière séance de l'année. C'est une séance où, excusez parce que là, je suis émotif. C'est une séance où ça doit être joyeux, mais pour nous, ça l'est peut-être un petit peu moins. Parce que on a pris la décision de déménager l'année prochaine. Ça fait 5 ans à peu près qu'on n'a pas vu nos enfants, donc on les voit à peu près pas, à cause de la COVID et tout ce qui l'entoure. On les voit par Skype, par Messenger, etc., mais c'est vraiment passé. Alors, l'année prochaine, on va dire adieu à Kirkland, mais on va dire au revoir à nos amis.
Mais ça nous fait quoi, André et Suzanne? En passant, tu déménages où, André?
Sur la rive nord.
La rive nord.
La rive nord.
Mais je te
On va se rapprocher des enfants. On les voit même pas 2 fois par année.
Je te comprends, la famille, c'est très important. Et votre planifier votre départ, quand exactement?
Donc, dans le courant de l'année prochaine.
Ah, OK.
En 2023.
Tu lui tiendras au courant.
Alors, je veux terminer pour vous souhaiter une bonne année 2003, de la santé, du bonheur et un joyeux temps des fêtes. Happy Holidays.
Merci.
Pas de charbon cette année.
Merci, André.
Je peux chanter une chanson de Noël, si tu veux. Elle a dit si je chante, elle sort.
Moi aussi.
Mais je prends l'occasion, André, étant donné que tu l'as dit, aussi de souhaiter à nos résidents qui sont ici, à tous nos résidents de Kirkland, un joyeux Noël et une bonne année. A really Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And what we're doing here as a counselor, we're doing it because we're a resident and we're you. So the decisions that are taken are always for our resident. So thank you, André, and I wish you and Suzanne all the luck.
Je dois ajouter qu'on va perdre de très bons amis. De très, très bons amis. Parmi les membres du conseil, parmi l'administration, parmi les résidents, on va vraiment s'ennuyer de ça, mais c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Il faut tourner la page.
C'est la vie. Ben écoute, on a encore un meeting. By the way, we got another meeting.
Oui, mais c'est un meeting du budget, puis ça m'intéresse pas.
C'est ce que j'ai dit.
Hein?
Okay, we got our next meeting will be on December the 19th.
December 19th pour le budget.
Wait,
Everybody here?
as set up.
No question asked.
Okay. Okay, I need somebody to adjourn the meeting.
I'll adjourn the meeting, I'll Zito.
And second by?
And I will second it all before.
Thank you.